In the ever-evolving world of Philippine showbiz, where stars rise and fade like the shifting tides, one name has stood the test of time, a woman whose brilliance once lit up every screen, whose artistry captivated millions, and whose life story continues to resonate deeply with generations. This is the story of Claudine Barretto. From her earliest days as a young actress in the 1990s, Claudine carved a place for herself in the hearts of Filipinos with her raw emotion, unmatched talent, and unforgettable performances. Crowned as the queen of teleseries, she redefined drama on Philippine television, delivering iconic portrayals that became cultural landmarks. But beyond the bright lights and red carpets lies a journey marked by triumph and turbulence, by love and heartbreak, by success and the courage to start again. Claudine's story is not only about fame, it is about strength, survival, and the indomitable will of a woman who refused to be defined by her struggles. In this video, we take you through the extraordinary life of Claudine Barretto, from her early beginnings and rise to stardom, to the challenges that tested her spirit, and the legacy she continues to build today. Prepare to witness the inspiring journey of a true Filipina icon, an actress, a mother, a fighter, and above all, a woman of substance. In the quiet suburbs of Manila, where the hum of city life blended with familiar laughter, a star was born on July 20, 1979. Claudine Margaret Costello Barretto entered the world as the youngest daughter of Miguel Barretto and Estrella Indy Barretto. Even before she could walk, Claudine had already begun to shine. Her smile, bright eyes, and cheerful disposition made her the darling of the family. Little did anyone suspect that this child would one day become one of the most beloved and controversial actresses in Philippine entertainment history. Growing up in a middle-class household, Claudine's early years were defined by warmth and structure. She spent her formative years surrounded by sisters and cousins, playing in the family compound, watching classic Filipino dramas on television, then mimicking the lines of her favorite characters. It was here that the seed of performance was planted. Her parents, although traditional and reserved, encouraged self-expression and ambition. Her mother, Estrella, was particularly attentive to the children's upbringing, instilling in them values of respect, humility, and discipline, principles that would later shape Claudine's approach to fame. Even as a child, Claudine had a quiet confidence that set her apart. She wasn't the loudest in the room, but she possessed a magnetic energy. When she entered a space, people noticed. She carried a poise and presence rare in someone so young, qualities that would soon draw the attention of talent scouts and television executives. Claudine Barretto was born into a family that would become one of the most talked about dynasties in Philippine show business. The Barretto clan, a mix of strong personalities and artistic flair, is both celebrated and scrutinized in the public eye. Her siblings, particularly her sisters Gretchen and Marjorie, paved the way into the entertainment industry, each carving her own path in film and television. However, it was Claudine who would eventually rise as the most formidable talent of them all. Her father, Miguel Barretto, was a disciplinarian known for his no-nonsense attitude. He valued education, self-respect, and traditional values. Claudine was particularly close to her mother, Indy Barretto, who was gentle yet fiercely protective of her children. The Barretto household was filled with love, but it was not without its internal tensions. In later years, the family's disputes would become public fodder, but during Claudine's early life, those conflicts had yet to surface. Family gatherings were a regular occurrence, and performances, impromptu dance numbers or skits by the Barretto siblings, were a highlight. It was a family rich in charisma and ambition. While Gretchen was the first to enter showbiz, it was evident that Claudine possessed a deeper emotional range and natural screen presence. She watched her older sisters with admiration but harbored a quiet ambition to do more, to be more. The Barretto name would come to mean many things in Philippine media: talent, beauty, fame, drama, and controversy. For Claudine, it would be a blessing and a burden. But in the innocence of her youth, she embraced it only as a source of inspiration, a foundation upon which she would build her own legacy. As Claudine Barretto blossomed from a precocious child into a young girl, her parents emphasized the importance of a solid education. They believed that while show business was an opportunity, academic achievement was the foundation of a good life. Claudine began her primary education at the South Marville School in Perenok, where she was known not only for her charm but also for her keen memory and vivid imagination. She was a bright student, though not necessarily the type to bury her head in books for hours. Her real gift was in creative expression, writing short poems, acting in class plays, and leading group presentations. Teachers often remarked that Claudine possessed a rare emotional intelligence. She was intuitive and sensitive, able to read people and situations with an unusual depth for her age. Later, she enrolled at the La Salle Santiago Zobel School, a prestigious institution in Alabang, which further honed her intellectual and interpersonal skills. Though balancing academics with an increasingly demanding schedule in the entertainment industry would later prove difficult, Claudine always made an effort to complete her studies. Even when work commitments began to consume her days, her commitment to learning remained steadfast, a trait her family admired deeply. Claudine's educational journey was never just about textbooks. It was about building character, developing discipline, and understanding the world beyond the camera. It also provided her a brief reprieve from the overwhelming demands of celebrity life. School was where she could still just be Claudine, not a star, not a public figure, but simply a young girl with dreams, surrounded by peers. Claudine's foray into show business came almost naturally. With her sister Gretchen already a rising star in Philippine cinema, Claudine was exposed to the backstage world early on. Lights, scripts, cameras, and directors were part of her growing up environment. But Claudine wasn't merely drawn by proximity, she was born for it. Her first break came in 1992, at the tender age of 13, when she was cast in the iconic youth-oriented show on TV, the daily afternoon program on ABS-CBN that featured a roster of young talents. Among her co-stars were future big names like Jolina McDougall, John Prats, and Mylene Dizon. Though her screen time was modest at first, Claudine's natural camera presence quickly caught the attention of producers and viewers alike. This early exposure introduced Claudine to a national audience. She wasn't just another pretty face, her ability to emote, to deliver lines with conviction, and to adapt to different roles, marked her as a serious talent. She possessed an innate ability to connect with her audience, even as a teenager. Her performances were not just seen, they were felt. In 1993, Claudine landed a supporting role in the sitcom Home Along the Rails, alongside the legendary Dolphy. Playing the role of Dolphy's daughter, Claudine's charm and timing shone. The show's success helped solidify her place as a budding actress, and more roles began to follow. The industry took notice. Claudine Barretto wasn't just Gretchen's younger sister, she was a rising star in her own right. Her film debut came shortly after, when she appeared in several youth-oriented movies, typically as the soft-hearted, girl-next-door character. These roles, while modest in complexity, allowed Claudine to gradually sharpen her craft and learn the nuances of working with a camera. Her breakout in film was a matter of when, not if. In these early years, Claudine understood that success would require more than just talent. She was mentored by some of the best in the industry, directors, co-stars, and writers who saw her potential and helped shape her professional ethos. She absorbed everything, every line, every scene, every critique, with the hunger of someone destined for greatness. Claudine's rise may have begun with the doors opened by her family name, but it was her relentless commitment to the craft, her undeniable charisma, and her emotional depth that kept those doors open and eventually led her to command them all on her own. The mid to late 1990s marked a transformative era in Philippine entertainment, and Claudine Barretto stood at the very heart of this shift. From a young television actress with undeniable promise, she would ascend into the rarefied air of superstardom, not simply by chance but through a deliberate, disciplined pursuit of excellence. Her defining break came in 1997, when she was cast in Mula Ese Puso, a primetime drama series that would forever change the trajectory of her career. Airing on ABS-CBN, the show followed the life of Vaya, a young woman struggling to navigate love, betrayal, and family secrets. Claudine portrayed Vaya with such authenticity and emotional intensity that viewers were immediately captivated. The series became a massive hit, turning Claudine into a household name and cementing her status as one of the leading dramatic actresses of her generation. Mula Ese Puso ran for 3 years and was adapted into a successful film in 1999, further amplifying her fame. But more than ratings and box office numbers, it was Claudine's performance that won hearts. She brought a rare emotional honesty to the screen, her tears felt real, her joy infectious. The Philippine viewing public had found someone who could articulate their own heartbreaks and hopes through her characters. From there, roles began to flood in, each more challenging and complex than the last. Claudine proved that she was not a one-role wonder. In Isan Common Nerorun, 1999, she showcased her versatility by portraying triplets with distinct personalities, Rosario, Rosenda, and Rosemary. It was a feat few actresses could carry, and Claudine delivered a performance that was both technically impressive and emotionally resonant. Her portrayals were so seamless that viewers often forgot it was one woman playing 3 roles. The show not only reaffirmed her acting prowess but also demonstrated her creative range and psychological depth. By the early 2000s, Claudine had fully arrived. Her name was synonymous with box office success and critical acclaim. She headlined film after film, including Got to Believe, 2002, a romantic comedy with the late Rico Yen that became a cultural phenomenon. Their on-screen chemistry and off-screen romance captivated the nation. The film's success transcended commercial performance, it became part of the collective memory of a generation. She continued to dominate primetime with series like Marina, 2004, where she played a mermaid, an ambitious role that merged fantasy with Filipino mythology. Though a departure from her usual heavy dramas, it displayed her ability to adapt and shine in diverse genres. Whether as a tragic heroine or an empowered fantasy figure, Claudine remained grounded in performance, always giving her full emotional commitment. Her rise to fame was not accidental. Behind the glamorous magazine covers and red carpet appearances was an actress who worked tirelessly, learning scripts, rehearsing intensely, and pushing herself to inhabit every role fully. She took her craft seriously, and it showed. Directors found her professional, co-stars found her generous, and audiences found her unforgettable. With fame firmly in her grasp, Claudine Barretto's career became a tapestry of cinematic excellence and television mastery. She wasn't just celebrated, she was respected, and that respect came from a body of work that set new benchmarks for Philippine entertainment. Among her major achievements, several films and television series stand as enduring testaments to her legacy. Milan, 2004, marked a turning point in Claudine's acting career. Paired with Piolo Pascual, the film told the story of overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, trying to survive and love in a foreign land. Claudine's portrayal of Jenny was subtle yet powerful, revealing the inner struggles of a woman torn between ambition and affection. Directed by Olivia Lomisan, the film was critically acclaimed and became a massive box office hit. It earned her the former's Best Actress award, and it is still regarded as one of her finest performances. Dubai, 2005, further demonstrated her capacity to channel the Filipino diaspora's emotional landscape. Set against the backdrop of the Middle East, the film tackled themes of sacrifice, migration, and familial duty. Once again, Claudine's performance was lauded for its emotional richness and authenticity. In Nazan Coman, 2005, Claudine played a tormented young woman raised by adoptive parents in a mysterious and poetic film that blended psychological drama and suspense. Her nuanced portrayal won her the Luna Award for Best Actress, solidifying her as not just a commercial draw but a genuine acting powerhouse. On television, her 2006 series Walong Kapalit, a remake of the earlier hit Mula Ese Puso, demonstrated how far she had come. No longer the ingenue, Claudine played a woman broken by circumstance, displaying layers of vulnerability and quiet strength. Beyond her dramatic chops, Claudine's box office draw was undeniable. She was among the few actresses who could guarantee both critical acclaim and commercial success, a balance that many actors struggle to achieve. She starred in multiple Metro Manila Film Festival entries, many of which became top-grossing films of their respective years. Throughout her career, she worked with the industry's most respected directors, Olivia Lomesan, Rory Quintas, and Loris Gian, who repeatedly cast her for her professionalism, dedication, and emotional depth. Claudine's achievements were not limited to screen time. She became a cover girl for top magazines, a fashion icon, and one of the most influential female celebrities in the Philippines. She was recognized by institutions such as Star Awards for Movies, Gawad-Yarian, and PMPC, collecting numerous accolades that highlighted her range and commitment to the arts. In 2009, she made headlines by transferring from ABS-CBN to GMA Network, a major career move that underscored her confidence and independence. The transition was met with both excitement and scrutiny, but Claudine embraced the challenge, determined to expand her artistic journey. At every turn, Claudine Barretto raised the bar. Whether through complex roles or bold career choices, her journey was one marked by courage, excellence, and authenticity, and her major achievements reflected a life devoted not just to fame, but to art. Behind the glitz of the red carpet and the acclaim of her roles, Claudine Barretto lived a life marked by both tender joys and turbulent heartaches. Her personal life, lived largely in the public eye, mirrored the intensity of the characters she portrayed, deep, layered, and at times, stormy. During the height of her career in the early 2000s, Claudine was romantically linked with several of her leading men, but none stirred the public's attention more than her relationship with Rico Yen, her on-screen partner in Got to Believe. Their off-screen romance captured the nation's imagination, as fans saw in them a fairy tale unfolding in real life. Their chemistry, both on and off-screen, was electric, and they quickly became the it couple of Philippine showbiz. Tragically, the love story was cut short when Rico Yen passed away in his sleep on March 29, 2002, during a vacation in Palawan. The news shook the entire nation. For Claudine, it was a deeply personal loss. She mourned not only a partner but a dear friend and soulmate. Her grief was palpable, and she bore it with grace, drawing sympathy and solidarity from countless Filipinos. In 2004, Claudine found love again and married Remat Santiago, a fellow actor. Their union was celebrated with a beautiful wedding ceremony held at Tagaytay Highlands. The couple was blessed with 2 children, Sabina Natasha, whom they adopted in 2004, and Santino, their biological son, born in 2007. Claudine took to motherhood with devotion. She would often express that being a mother was the most important role of her life, a part that demanded not scripts, but sincerity and love. For a time, the Barretto-Santiago household was considered one of the most stable and admired celebrity families in the country. Claudine continued to balance her acting career with her responsibilities as a mother and wife. Public appearances with her children and husband often showcased a softer side of the actress, away from the lights of the studio, a woman grounded in family. However, like many, Claudine's personal life was not without its struggles. In 2013, after years of reported disagreements, Claudine and Remat separated. The breakup became highly publicized, with legal battles and accusations exchanged. Custody arrangements for their children and financial disputes followed. It was a painful chapter, played out on a national stage, and it left emotional wounds that took time to heal. Despite the heartbreak, Claudine remained steadfast in her love for her children. She shielded them from the harshness of public scrutiny as best as she could. In later interviews, Claudine often spoke of her children as her source of strength, the reason she continued to fight through adversity. Outside romantic and family life, Claudine also valued close friendships and kinship, though her relationship with her family, especially her sisters, was famously complicated. The Barretto clan, while close-knit in their youth, experienced several rifts that were widely reported. Claudine's bond with sisters Gretchen and Marjorie fluctuated over the years, swinging from warmth to conflict, often igniting headlines and sparking public opinion. Yet, through all the tumult, Claudine remained transparent and vulnerable, allowing the public to see her as more than a star. She was a woman, flawed, human, but always resilient. In her moments of solitude, she leaned on faith, prayer, and her unbreakable love for her children. Her personal life became both a source of trial and transformation, teaching her strength, grace, and the value of forgiveness. Fame, while glittering, often casts long shadows. Claudine Barretto's career, though illuminated by success, was never immune to the storms of controversy and hardship. In many ways, her journey through adversity only deepened the public's respect for her, revealing a woman who refused to be defined by scandal or struggle. One of the most widely publicized challenges Claudine faced was her feud with her sisters, Gretchen and Marjorie. While disagreements between siblings are not uncommon, the Barretto family drama became a media spectacle. What began as personal misunderstandings evolved into a full-blown public rift, complete with social media statements, television interviews, and courtroom implications. At the heart of the conflict were issues of loyalty, family expectations, and hurtful accusations. It was painful for Claudine, not only because of the strained relationships but also because the public now had a window into her most private battles. During this time, Claudine also found herself involved in legal controversies, particularly surrounding her marriage to Raymart Santiago. In 2013, she filed a case against Raymart for violation of the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act. He, in turn, filed for habeas corpus to gain custody of their son. The public nature of their separation, fueled by court appearances and legal documents, took a toll on Claudine's well-being. In the same year, Claudine filed criminal charges against Raymart and his lawyers, accusing them of maligning her character. The legal tug-of-war, played out in the media, became one of the most talked-about celebrity breakups in Philippine history. Critics and supporters alike weighed in, but Claudine pressed on, unwavering in her commitment to defend her truth. The controversies extended to her career as well. After transferring to GMA Network in 2009 and launching the drama series Claudine, she gradually stepped away from the limelight, amid rumors of professional disagreements and creative dissatisfaction. There were also reports about her struggles with mental health, which Claudine later acknowledged in various interviews. She spoke candidly about battling depression and emotional exhaustion, offering a rare and courageous look at the emotional toll of sustained public scrutiny. In 2014, Claudine made headlines when she appeared with visible bruises during a court appearance. Speculations arose about domestic abuse, which only intensified the public's concern. Though she did not immediately confirm the cause, the image left a lasting impression, a stark reminder that even beloved figures suffer in silence. Despite these trials, Claudine never disappeared entirely. With each setback, she attempted a return, not to reclaim fame, but to reconnect with her passion and reclaim her peace. In 2015, she starred in the comeback film Etiquette for Mistresses, reminding audiences of her raw talent and still unmatched screen presence. While she no longer worked at the frenetic pace of her youth, her performances remained poignant, mature, and deeply affecting. Perhaps Claudine's greatest challenge was not in the courtroom or in public feuds, but in her journey toward self-acceptance. Through therapy, reflection, and the passage of time, she began to mend the fractured parts of her life. She extended olive branches to estranged family members and spoke openly about forgiveness and healing. In a world that often devours its stars, Claudine Barretto refused to be consumed. She weathered the storms and emerged not unscarred, but unbroken. Her story is not only of survival but of renewal. For every controversy she endured, she responded with quiet determination and a will to rise. While Claudine Barretto has long been known for her glamorous roles and screen prowess, there is a lesser-known but equally compelling side to her story, the compassionate humanitarian. Beneath the layers of stardom and spectacle lay a heart inclined toward empathy and service. Throughout her career, Claudine extended her influence beyond the screen, quietly and consistently participating in philanthropic causes, especially those involving children and families in crisis. Her compassion, in many ways, was shaped by her own life experiences. The trials she endured in love, family, and public life gave her a unique understanding of pain and healing. This personal depth translated into meaningful charitable engagements. Though she was never one to trumpet her donations or appearances, Claudine made sure her blessings reached those in need. One of her most heartfelt advocacies was child welfare. As a devoted mother herself, Claudine frequently contributed to charities that provided shelter, education, and medical aid to orphan and abandoned children. She lent her name and time to organizations such as Children's Hour and Gawad Kalinga, often appearing at events or making quiet contributions to support children's homes and feeding programs. She expressed on multiple occasions that every child deserved love, safety, and a future, especially those society had forgotten. In the aftermath of Typhoon Yolanda Haiyan, in 2013, one of the deadliest typhoons in Philippine history, Claudine joined other celebrities in mobilizing relief efforts. She participated in fundraising events and donated goods and financial aid to survivors. Her participation was not for spectacle but out of genuine concern. She often said, helping should never be about the cameras. It should be about the people. Moreover, Claudine was known to take time to support hospital visits, particularly for children with terminal illnesses. Fans and hospital staff have spoken of her unannounced visits, where she would bring toys, food, and spend quiet time with patients, sometimes without any media coverage. These gestures, though small in the public's eye, left an indelible mark on those she comforted. Her philanthropy also extended to mental health awareness, a cause close to her heart given her own struggles. In interviews, Claudine opened up about the importance of emotional support, therapy, and seeking help. By doing so, she empowered others to confront their mental health battles without shame, slowly shifting societal perceptions. She collaborated with wellness organizations in promoting mental health programs, particularly for women experiencing domestic abuse or emotional trauma. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Claudine took to social media to raise funds for frontliners and marginalized families. She partnered with local groups to distribute relief packages and personal protective equipment. Her involvement went beyond the online campaign. She was personally involved in organizing relief drives, ensuring that aid reached those who needed it most. Through all her philanthropic endeavors, Claudine demonstrated that her heart beat strongest not in applause, but in service. While her fame offered her a platform, it was her authentic kindness that endeared her to many. In giving back, Claudine Barretto not only healed others, she also healed herself. In the world of Philippine entertainment, Claudine Barretto's name has become synonymous with excellence, depth, and legacy. Her career is etched with accolades, testaments to the power of her performances and the lasting impact of her artistry. From the late 1990s to the early 2000s, Claudine established herself as a dramatic actress of rare intensity. Her portrayals were nuanced and emotionally honest, earning her widespread praise from both fans and critics. The film Milan, 2004, where she starred opposite Piolo Pascual, remains one of her most decorated projects. The film not only showcased Claudine's maturity as an actress but also brought her multiple Best Actress awards, including FAMA's Best Actress Award 2005 for Milan, PMPC Star Awards Best Actress in a Movie, Luna Award for Best Actress. Milan was lauded as a landmark film in Philippine cinema, and Claudine's performance was hailed as one of her most powerful to date, portraying the inner struggles of overseas Filipino workers with poignancy and raw realism. Claudine also received critical acclaim for her television work.
Her role in San Coman Nerorun 1999, where she played triplets with distinct personalities, earned her a PMPC Star Award for Best Drama Actress. Pulling off such a complex character set was no small feat, but Claudine made each persona feel authentic and relatable. The series further cemented her status as a master of her craft. Other notable awards include Gawad Yarian Best Actress nomination for Nazan Koman 2005. PMPC Star Award for TV for Best Drama Actress for Mula Sopuso. Anak TV Seal Award given to personalities that exemplify wholesome family values. Box Office Queen recognition for several consecutive years during the early 2000s. Aside from acting awards, Claudine has been honored for her contributions to Philippine culture and media. She was recognized by various youth and civic organizations for being a role model in resilience and reinvention. Her ability to rise from personal challenges and still command artistic respect served as an inspiration for many. Even during periods of absence from showbiz, Claudine's work was regularly referenced as a benchmark of excellence. Younger generations of actors and actresses often cited her performances as influences in their own approach to acting. In the latter half of the 2010s and into the 2020s, Claudine Barretto began a journey not just of professional resurgence but of personal rebirth. While the earlier years of that decade saw her retreat from the mainstream spotlight, she never left the hearts of her fans. With time, healing, and a reignited sense of purpose, Claudine slowly made her way back, not just to television or film, but to herself. In 2015, Claudine reappeared on the big screen through the ensemble drama Etiquette for Mistresses. Though her role was part of a larger cast, her performance reminded audiences of her enduring strength. The film's success proved that Claudine still had the star power and the emotional depth that defined her early years. Following the film, Claudine expressed interest in pursuing projects with deeper meaning, roles that allowed her to explore maturity, womanhood, and social issues. She participated in various guest appearances, talk shows, and special interviews where she reflected on her journey, acknowledging past mistakes while embracing the wisdom they brought. Her renewed openness drew admiration. In interviews, she spoke with clarity about mental health, motherhood, and forgiveness. Slowly, her relationships with estranged family members began to mend. In 2019, she made headlines again when she reconciled with her father before his passing and extended peace to her siblings. These gestures of healing signaled not just maturity but growth of spirit. Claudine also became more active on social media, where she interacted directly with fans, shared family moments, and even gave glimpses into her daily life. She used the platform to express gratitude and encourage those facing personal battles. Her followers often describe her posts as honest, uplifting, and human, a far cry from the manufactured celebrity image many stars project. Though she remained selective with projects, Claudine hinted at a long-anticipated showbiz comeback, promising her fans more of the acting they loved. Her focus was not on reclaiming the spotlight but on telling stories that mattered, with the same fire that defined her younger days but now tempered with wisdom. In recent years, she devoted more time to raising her children, particularly Sabina and Santino, both of whom have grown into kind, independent young individuals. Claudine speaks proudly of her role as a mother, often saying that her greatest legacy will be the values she imparts to her children. The name Claudine Barretto echoes across generations, not merely as a star who lit up Philippine screens, but as a woman whose story mirrors the complexities of life itself, a triumph and failure, fame and solitude, love and heartbreak, loss and redemption. Claudine's legacy is deeply rooted in her unparalleled contributions to Philippine television and cinema. As one of the most iconic actresses of the 1990s and early 2000s, she helped shape the golden era of teleseries, pioneering a new standard of performance for dramatic heroines. Her portrayals in Mula sa Puso, San Coman Nerorun, and Marina transformed the landscape of Filipino primetime drama, imbuing characters with depth, vulnerability, and humanity. She became the archetype of the strong yet wounded Filipina, a woman who fought against odds, loved fiercely, and rose with dignity from her falls.
Her filmography is often referenced in acting workshops, educational programs, and retrospectives of Philippine media as benchmark performances that aspiring actors are encouraged to study. For many, her work became the lens through which they understood the art of acting. But beyond her craft, Claudine Barretto's personal story became her greatest narrative. Her life unfolded publicly, with devastating family feuds, highly publicized relationships, battles with mental health, and periods of silence. Yet she emerged not untouched by pain, but transformed by it. In facing adversity head-on, Claudine became more than a celebrity, she became a symbol of resilience. Her story reminded Filipinos that stars, too, break and shine again. She is often cited alongside other legends such as Vilma Santos, Nora Ona, and Maricel Soriano, not just because of her awards or popularity, but because she brought something rare to her roles, emotional truth. Even decades after her most iconic roles aired, fans still recall her lines, her tears, her strength on screen with vivid emotion. That is the mark of a true artist. Claudine's influence is also evident in the generations that followed. Many young actresses, including Kim Chiu, Catherine Bernardo, and Julia Barretto, her niece, have acknowledged her impact on the craft and the industry. Even directors and producers, when asked about performances that changed the game, regularly mention her. Her life also became a quiet inspiration for many Filipinas who have endured betrayal, abuse, depression, or public shaming. By speaking candidly about her mental health battles, therapy, and healing, Claudine helped normalize emotional vulnerability. She turned her suffering into strength for others, showing that survival is a kind of success in itself. Her role as a mother became another crucial aspect of her legacy. In raising her adopted daughter Sabina and her son Santino with immense love, Claudine showed the world what it meant to mother not just biologically, but spiritually. Her social media accounts often reflect this deep maternal bond, and her children have grown up with grace, humility, and kindness, traits she takes immense pride in. In 2022, rumors circulated about her possible return to teleseries and film, and fans erupted with excitement. Whether or not she returns to a full-time career, Claudine Barretto's place in Filipino pop culture is secure. She has transcended the bounds of celebrity to become a cultural memory, a name, a presence, a feeling, remembered with affection, admiration, and awe. Today, Claudine stands as a woman of many lives. The girl who dreamed, the star who conquered, the lover who lost, the mother who healed, and the human being who found herself again. Her journey is not just one of fame, but of becoming. She leaves behind not just awards or memorable lines, but a message. That no matter how far you fall, no matter how dark the night gets, there is always light to return to, and within yourself, the power to rise again.